Hey sis, have you ever been in a relationship where technically you weren't alone, technically, but emotionally you felt completely by yourself, just home alone emotionally? And maybe there was like people were physically there, a partner was physically there. Maybe you talked every day, spent time together. Maybe the relationship looked fine from the outside, but deep down, you still felt emotionally disconnected. You felt unseen, unheard, emotionally unsupported. And so, what happens is over time, that kind of loneliness becomes painful in a very quiet way. Very quietly, it becomes more and more painful because what's happening is it's like emotional loneliness doesn't always look dramatic. Yeah, sometimes what it looks like is like you could be laying right next to somebody while feeling emotionally miles away from them. If that's you, let's talk about it. My name's Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, life coach, and mentor. And on our channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. If any part of this message touches you or resonates with you and you're feeling this vibe, please like and subscribe. And specifically, too, if you're not ready to subscribe yet, and you want to keep watching, but the message touches you, give me a thumbs up to let me know that, hey, thank you, Melinda. That makes more sense. And, that gave me some clarity. Okay. Let's get back into the message. Because the thing is that a lot of people think that like loneliness only happens when you're physically alone. But the thing is that some of the deepest loneliness happens inside emotionally disconnected relationships. hmm But let's kind of dive into like why this happens, right? So, human beings are emotionally, and I talked about this in another video, they're emotionally wired for connection, attunement, emotional safety, and secure attachments. Okay. And research in attachment psychology shows that, like, emotional responsiveness and connection plays a major role in like emotional well-being and relationship security. Yep. So what that means is that like people don't simply just need proximity, meaning just need a body there. People don't just need that. They also need that emotional connection. Yep. And so what happens is when somebody is emotionally unavailable, emotionally inconsistent, emotionally shut down, or emotionally disconnected, what happens is the nervous system often experiences distress. Yep, it causes distress on the nervous system. Even if the relationship is in effect or still existing right now, it still sends stress to the nervous system. And so, I like analogy. So, like, it would be like sitting by a fireplace. If you have a fireplace in your house or you've been anywhere where a fireplace is, it will be like sitting by a fireplace, but no fire's coming out to warm you up. So, but if somebody was looking at you sitting by the fireplace on the outside, it looks like you're going to be warmed up because there's warmth coming from the fireplace because it's a fireplace, right? But internally, you're still cold. That's kind of how it is. It's like on the outside, people are like, oh, yeah, make a good couple. You look so good together, blah, 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 all this stuff. But they are emotionally not there. They're physically there, but not emotionally. So internally, it feels cold. And so that's what an emotionally disconnected relationship could feel like. Not that it's cold, but it's just not there. There's nothing there. Your body is there, the shell of the body's there, but that's it. Now let's talk about though why that hurts so much though. The reason why is because emotionally disconnected relationships, what it does is create confusion. Okay? Cuz part of you might be thinking like they're here, so why do I even still feel lonely? Because they're right here, right? And a lot of people sometimes start blaming themselves for the disconnection. They may start thinking stuff like, maybe I'm too emotional, or maybe I expect too much, or maybe I'm the problem. But the thing is that emotional connection is not too much to need. That's not asking for too much to have an emotional connection with your partner. That's not asking for too much. It's human, okay? And so let's talk about what's happening and taking place inside your body though. So what happens like when an emotional connection feels absent, your nervous system may then start moving into like overthinking, hypervigilant, like I said before, emotional longing or sadness or even emotional depletion. Okay. And so, because the body, what it does is it just keeps searching. Trying to find closeness. It's trying to find reassurance. It's trying to find a presence, not physically, but emotionally. And it's also trying to find emotional safety because that's where you feel comfortable. And so your mind might start saying, I shouldn't feel this lonely because they're right here. They come home every day. But your nervous system may also really be saying, I don't feel emotionally connected here. I don't feel connected here. I just don't. And so let's talk about this because it's important, because like being emotionally disconnected from somebody can hurt just as deeply as physical distance sometimes, because the human heart was designed to feel seen, known, safe, and emotionally. It needs to be all of those. It needs to feel, it needs to be known, it needs to feel safe, and it needs to be emotionally met. Like you have to meet your heart's desires, right? And so healing sometimes begins like when you stop minimizing like your emotional needs, because your needs are real, okay? And it also begins when don't minimize the needs, the loneliness, and the pain of the emotional disconnection. That's when you know you're starting to heal, okay? Because acknowledging the truth is where the clarity begins. So remember, too, God did not create the connection just to leave you mentally starving. Mm-mm. That's not his work, to just leave you just high and dry, starving. And sometimes the hardest loneliness is feeling emotionally abandoned while somebody is still physically present though. Feeling emotionally abandoned while they are physically present. But just keep in mind, sis, that your emotional needs, they matter too. They matter. And healing begins like when you stop convincing yourself that the emotional neglect is normal, because it's not. It's not. So I just wanted to stop by to talk about that. I did another video on it. I don't know which one I'll post first. but I did a longer video and went more in depth on it. So whichever one you see first, just know there's another one about it. So if you've ever felt lonely though inside a relationship, just understand that like your pain is actually real, okay? Because emotional loneliness, it cuts deeply, okay? And healing can be happen and start beginning like when you stop ignoring like what your heart and nervous system have been telling you or trying to tell you, okay? Don't shut it off, just listen to it, because you're saying I need a connection too. And you deserve relationships where you feel emotionally safe, emotionally seen, and emotionally nourished. Okay? So I hope this message helped you. And if it did, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. All right? Have a great day, guys. Bye.